All right, welcome back to the Power Frequency Modulation 1076 is the frequency of your choice on radio, online, and on mobile. Is exactly 11:45 according to our studio clock. And now we'll be moving to the next item on the program, and that is a discussion with Michael A. Porter. Well, let's give you a little bit bio of Michael A. Porter before we bring him on board to talk about the subject that we need to talk about today in the program. Michael A. Porter is an international management developer and a trainer, a writer, a speaker, a globalist, and of course, people expert. People expert. He's one of the leading non-academic global training and management developer consultant, and he's worked with advisory for a variety of global organizations, including the National Health Service, the BBC, Coca-Cola, HSBC, Unibank, Cyprus Popular Bank, EcoBank, you name them. I mean, if you go to the CV, you will see a lot of things on his bio. Now, he is also a former footballer of Bolton Football Club. Well, Michael is in the United Kingdom, and we will talk to him about a lot of exciting stuff. But let's see whether we have Mike on the line. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, good morning, Lamin. Yeah, good morning to all your viewers in the Gambia.
Well, how's the UK?
Well, at the moment, we've had a very hot spell of weather for the last two to 3 weeks. It's been unnaturally warm, round about 27 degrees, which for the springtime is very high. But for the last 2 days, it's dropped 10 degrees. It's gone a lot cooler. We've had some mild rains, so we're back to our normal temperature now for this time of the year, round about 17 degrees.
Well, Mike, let's go straight into the subject matter, and that's we know the Premier League is about to resume very shortly, 17th of June. Everyone is bracing up for the resumption of the Premier League. But the impact of COVID-19 on the Premier League, I mean, take us through that. I mean, after 112 days since football was last played in UK.
Yeah, so, as you're all aware, our lockdown in the UK started 23rd of March. We've had no football or sport, any sport, for the best part of 5 to 6 weeks, even longer now. So all sport has more or less been put on hold. The UK has been badly affected by the coronavirus. Up to yesterday, nearly 40,000 people have perished with the virus. So it's been very, very high numbers. So the government has been very strict, rightly so, in terms of a lockdown, and people have been asked to remain at home. Schools and universities closed. People working from home, only essential workers going to work. So we've been in this situation now for quite a while. Things are slightly improving with the effects of the lockdown and people not spreading the infection by being outside. The numbers of new infections have dropped. However, there's still, unfortunately, people still losing their lives. But the curve, as they call it, has now peaked, and we're on the downward slope. So we're hoping and praying that that the virus will reduce and reduce. The good news is that the government this week has relaxed some of the arrangements. People can now play golf. Some more shops are opening. Some of the children are going back to school. Not all of them. Some of the younger children are going back to school, and sport has been given the go-ahead, albeit not going to be 100% like pre-lockdown. So football, the English Premier League, has a project called Operation Restart, And the good news is that we're going to be starting on the 17th of June. That's Wednesday, next week. And the opening game will be Manchester City versus your team, Arsenal, Lamin.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be an exciting game. However, the rules of the game have changed somewhat. The rules of the game in terms of what we can and what we cannot do. Not the football rules, but the COVID-19 rules have changed. And I can tell you that there's been a lot of testing going on within the English Premier League. There's been 5 rounds of tests so far. A total of 5,000 tests have been done across the English Premier League for all players, coaches and associated people with the clubs. Mm-hmm. And out of those 5,000, 13 tests have returned positive. So it's a very small number. So they've been very, very strict on the testing. The people who have turned positive have also been isolated away from the rest of the players. They're being tested twice weekly at some expense. So you know there's a lot of excitement here now about the return of football, even though it's going to be behind closed doors. No one allowed to watch. A bit like what's going on in the Bundesliga at the moment in Germany. But the TV I've got a lot of coverage on it. And in fact, what they have done is they're going to stagger all the games at different times. And all the TV stations, including Sky Sports, BT Sports, Amazon even, and the BBC, are going to be covering some of the games each. And in some cases, it's free for view. So the public will be the British public will be able to watch the football from their own homes.
Mike,
so that's the situation at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, now we know that the Premier League is coming back on the 17th of June. You've mentioned that no fan will be allowed except the players and their respective coaches, and there are strict rules by the NSH in the NSS, right, rather in the UK. But the revenue loss in the Premier League, by the way, not only the Premier League, but it's staggering. I mean, just imagine watching football at home, without going to the parks.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's been a tremendous amount of money lost, as you can imagine. Not just for the English Premier League clubs, who in most cases have lots of money, or even further down into the Championship and Division 1, Division 2. This has been a dreadful time for all of the clubs, and of course the TV companies were threatening to take away some of the money that they ploughed into for the viewing rights. They wanted to take the English Premier League to court because there was talk of the season being curtailed early. However, that's not going to happen now. So revenue, a lot of revenue will be lost through no fans being able to go to the ground. Also, stadiums have not been able to be used for other sorts of functions like weddings or events, or restaurants have been closed. So the whole issue around funding has been a major challenge. And as you're probably aware, some of the top players have been asked to take pay cuts, in some cases up to 50% of their salary. Most of the staff, or a lot of the staff who work in the Premier League teams, have been furloughed. That means they've been sent home, and the government's funded 80% of their wages. Not all clubs, but some of the smaller clubs have had to do that because they're not been in a position to be able to pay wages if there's no money coming into the system.
Absolutely.
So it's been a major challenge, a major challenge. Remember, football club is a business. It's not just a football club. You have to turn over profit. You have to make some money, and they've not been able to do that since the middle of March.
Now, let's talk about...
it's been a big challenge.
Well, let's talk about Liverpool. I mean, after 3 decades, to be precise, 30 years, looking forward to win the Premier League. And now they have the chance, 25 points clear on top of the table. And there comes the pandemic. I mean, It has hit them hard, with the euphoria of the celebration that they are looking forward to, has all been cut short.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Liverpool just 2 wins away from securing the title. They're currently on 82 points. Man City, although they have a game in hand, they've only on 57 points. So, if Liverpool win two of the remaining 9 games, they're going to win the league. I honestly can't see them failing. However, saying that, Anfield is not an easy place to go to, and their next game is actually on Saturday, the 20th of June. It's a local derby against Everton at Goodison Park, and what an interesting fixture that will be. If Liverpool pick up 3 points there, they're more or less certain of picking up the Championship Premier League title in the month of June. However, if they go there and their local rivals, and this will be an interesting game, always high velocity game. If Everton win, and City win their game against Arsenal, and then win the game in hand, all of a sudden you have some doubt. But the challenge for these clubs will be playing in open stadiums without any atmosphere. Playing football in a silent stadium behind closed doors is not the same as playing in a packed Anfield with 60,000 supporters singing and cheering. So it's something that the players are going to have to get used to. Right. Some clubs are even talking about putting in cardboard cutouts of faces in the seats in the stadium, and having, believe it or not, volume of crowd noise being played as the players play. Just
like an artificial, sound, just to make them keep going.
Yes. So there's even talk of that. But as we speak, the English Premier League have not really yet decided what venues a lot of these upcoming games are going to be played at. For example, will the Manchester City Arsenal game, which is the first game, kicking off next Wednesday, be played in Manchester at the Etihad Stadium, or will it be played on a neutral ground? We don't yet know this.
Absolutely. Mike, finally, before we take a leave of you, because time is not on our side, what do you have to say on your final words on the program, and maybe probably few words that you will need to put in the program, because maybe you may have something that maybe probably we haven't spoken on it that you want to add on the program?
Well, all I can say is, things are difficult around the world for everyone. I know in the Gambia, having visited there and met you and some very nice people recently, I know the Gambia relies heavily on tourism, and it's a difficult time for everyone. Wherever we work around the world, everyone is struggling. Everybody wants to get started again. Everybody wants to get back to normal with their lives and see their family and loved ones and go back to work and watch football and do the things that they've always done. And I think at the moment we're in unprecedented times, and we just have to be a little bit more patient, and hopefully, slowly but surely, things will begin to change. And I think probably the lockdown, in hindsight, was the only option for many governments, because what we didn't want was a pandemic to spread uncontrollably around the world. So even though we've had to give up a lot of things, hopefully we will see the benefits in the coming weeks. The good news is that sport is back, particularly football. I know it's big in the Gambia, it's big all over the world. and we're looking forward to turning on our TV screen and watching some football. Because it's been so boring without sport on TV for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's been like for you there, but for me, it's as though there's nothing to talk about.
It's boring, though.
So let's hope that things improve for everybody, and let's hope that we can get back to normal as much as we can. It might not be 100%, but as much as we can in the coming months. And I hope to visit the Gambia again. It might not be this year, but hopefully it may be next year, all being well. So let's hope things improve for everybody, Lamin.
Thank you very much, Mike, for the time.
It's a pleasure. Goodbye, and goodbye to all your listeners in the Gambia. Very best wishes. Bye-bye for now.
Michael A. Porter, their former ball team striker, speaking to Afri Radio.